Hello and welcome to episode 2 of my lipstick rotation series. We are resetting the clock to 0 and you're going to see 10 more of my lipsticks featured in this video, starting off with one of my absolute favorite lipsticks from Urban Decay. This is the shade Epigram. I want to first show you the outer packaging of this lipstick because just the outer packaging is a piece of art. This was part of a collaboration that Urban Decay did with the estate of Jean-Michel Basquiat, because Jean-Michel Basquiat's been dead for quite a few years. Jean-Michel Basquiat was an artist, I think, from like the 80s and early 90s, and unfortunately he's no longer alive, but his art still lives on, and Urban Decay put it on their lipsticks. There was a bit of a controversy at the time whether they should or should not be doing something like this, but I viewed it as a really positive thing because honestly I would not have been familiar with Jean-Michel Basquiat or his art if it hadn't been for these lipsticks, and I really cherish these lipsticks because of also how beautiful the packaging is. I had 3 of them originally. I think I gave away one because it was a color that I was never going to wear, even though I had a hard time letting go of the packaging, and I've kept this one and one other lipstick that maybe you will see come around at some point, but it's like a very cool toned like taupe brown that I don't wear very often, and I'm a little bit scared of because it doesn't really suit me all that much. So that one I definitely keep more because I really love the outer packaging than the lipstick itself. But Epigram, which is this color, is also an absolutely beautiful color. Sadly, Epigram never came into the Vice lipstick line. No, I don't think any of the colors that were featured in this collection were ever actually extended to the whole Vice lipstick line, which was the case, for example, with the Gwen Stefani lipsticks. They eventually were just available in the regular line. These remained exclusive to the Basquiat collaboration. This is a beautiful, like caramel toned, light brown nude, and it's just the kind of nude that really suits me. It's not too bright, it's not overly pigmented, it goes really well with my skin tone. It's just a gorgeous lipstick. To be honest with you, I don't think that I've ever come across an actual dupe for this lipstick, and for whatever reason I'm convinced that the amount of lipstick that we got in these collaboration lipsticks is smaller than the ones in the original Vice lipsticks, because I feel like I went through this a lot faster than I should have. Either way, what are the odds that I'm actually ever going to finish this lipstick? Probably pretty small, so I'm really happy to have it in my collection. I really hope it doesn't go bad on me, so I'm going to spray it with a bit of ethanol in a little bit just in case. But yeah, this was the first lipstick for this episode 2 of my lipstick rotation series, Epigram from Urban Decay. Can you guess which this shade is without me telling you the name of it? Because if I were you, I would probably guess exactly which lipstick this is from Lisa Eldridge. I mean, obviously it's a Lisa Eldridge lipstick, although I want to say now a couple of brands are doing this like goldy type packaging. I think Gucci has something similar, so it's getting a little bit harder to recognize her lipsticks. But since I don't really have any of those, and you know that I own a lot of Lisa Eldridge, then at least you know it's a Lisa Eldridge. But can you guess the color before I tell you? Nicolaatje, alsjeblieft de deur dicht doen.
Hey.
This is the shade Strawberry Shock, which is part of Lisa Eldridge's insanely saturated line of lipsticks. I mean, insanely saturated it is. I'm sorry, it's a Saturday and there's no way to get rid of him. So you'll have to bear his noises around me. Okay, this is going to be difficult. He won't stop giggling. Wil je even hoi zeggen tegen de mensen? Kom maar en zeg hoi.
Hoi.
Oké, en je mag even aan de kant staan. Want je moet mama praten.
Hoe heet Lily?
Hoe heten jullie? He's asking what your names are. Also, he told me a few minutes ago that I looked really pretty and that he really likes my red lipstick. So that's insanely sweet of him. Trying to gather my thoughts here. We're talking about Strawberry Shock. Strawberry Shock. I'm sorry, you guys, the kids are here, Nikolai's here, it's hard to film. But Strawberry Shock is the shade I was talking about. Insanely saturated, released only last summer. And it's fair to say I was completely obsessed with this lipstick when it came out. I purchased it together with Meet Me in Berlin. I want to say for the first few months after I owned these lipsticks, I was basically alternating between Strawberry Shock and Meet Me in Berlin, Strawberry Shock, Meet Me in Berlin, with short interruptions of other colors. I love this lipstick. It is so vibrant. It is such a unique shade of like strawberry mixed in with a little bit of watermelon, but like super vibrant. It just makes me happy. It just makes me look forward to spring and summer that much more. But also, I predicted in the end of the season, like summer season last year, that once the colder months hit, I will not be wearing Strawberry Shock, and that is indeed the case. This is the first time I'm wearing this lipstick since the end of last summer. But I saw Martina wearing it on Insta a few days ago, and I was reminded of how much I love this lipstick. And now that the sun is slowly coming out and the temperatures are rising slowly and it is starting to smell like spring outside, I felt really inspired to wear Strawberry Shock today. I am pretty barefaced. I mean, I'm not barefaced, but I'm pretty like bare for the rest. I don't have any eyeshadow. I just have a little bit of mascara on because we're going to the supermarket. It's Saturday. I'm not doing anything special. I literally have no business looking glam. But I just really wanted to wear Strawberry Shock today. So. Wil je zeggen of ga je gewoon dansen?
Zeggen.
Wat wil je zeggen?
Hoi, mijn beetje gaat lekker dansen. En die gaat aan met een zo piu 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 piu. Zo piu.
He said his bear was going to dance for you.
Van één been.
Is this the kind of entertainment you came for?
Onze
No.
Lisa en Mona.
Do you appreciate it?
Onze Lisa en Mona.
Also no. I went for an unexpectedly monochromatic day on this Sunday, but for some reason I just had a very strong urge to wear Kitten Mischief from Lisa Eldridge. Now, Kitten Mischief is actually a new addition to my personal lipstick collection. It is an older shade that was released, I think, with one of the first like batches of the Luxuriously Lucent formula, which, as you might know, is one of my favorite formulas from Lisa Eldridge, and just generally speaking of like cream lipsticks. I didn't pick up this shade originally because I really hesitated whether it wouldn't be too nude for me, because based on some of the swatches on the website and what people were saying about this shade, it really seemed like it could go either way. I'm not a huge fan of extremely nude shades, but I think this is absolute perfection. You can see what a beautiful like peachy pink nude it is without being too bright or too nude. And I haven't actually worn this since I bought it last month, because I bought it together with the Decade Gloss Embrace, which was a new release, but it's been getting a little bit more springy outside, and I think you're going to see Kitten Mischief featured on my channel quite a bit in the coming months. But yeah, this is actually only the second time that I'm wearing this lipstick, and yeah, I really love the color. What else can I say? Definitely keeping it. Also, this might come as a shock to you because you probably don't expect that I will ever declutter a Lisa Eldridge lipstick, but I did in fact get rid of, well, get rid of is a very harsh way to describe decluttering a Lisa Eldridge lipstick, so I'm not going to say got rid of it, but I did pass on the shade Rainbow Spill from the Insanely Saturated line, because I just realistically was never going to wear it more than once a year, which would have been a real shame for the lipstick. So I gave it to my mom-in-law, who I think is going to enjoy it so much more. This is another one that I feel like, if you know, you know. Obviously, it looks like a Lisa Eldridge lipstick, and if it is a Lisa Eldridge lipstick that looks like chocolate, can it be anything else but Velvet Decade? Obviously, it cannot. I was standing under the shower earlier deciding what I'm going to wear, and I was actually going to wear Meet Me in Berlin, because Meet Me in Berlin would look absolutely beautiful with this look. But then I sort of like panicked, thinking, wait, it's the 20th of March today. And it was really beautiful sunny weather this past weekend, so we're getting into spring, meaning that Velvet Decade has just about run its course for this like past fall and winter period, meaning that I will not be able to wear this lipstick for quite a few months ahead, and I couldn't miss on this opportunity because today we're back to gloomy gray and a little bit cooler weather. So I'm taking one of those like possibly last opportunities to wear Decade, because Decade is an absolutely fabulous shade. I've talked about this lipstick so many times in like favorites videos, when I did my lip swatch video of all of my Lisa Eldridge lipsticks. Honestly, it is my favorite chocolate brown. because it has this beautiful like neutral tones to it. Usually I like all of my brown lipsticks, okay? I like the grungy ones, I like the ones that lean a little bit warmer and more orange, but it is so special and so unique, the tone of this specific lipstick, and I absolutely love it. There's a little bit of like the dark purple tone which grounds it in neutral territory, and I just think it looks like you smeared like Au Bain Marie malted dark chocolate, and I cannot get enough of that look. So, Decade, one of my favorites. Okay, today's lipstick rotation is one of my favorite reds from Urban Decay. I think you can also tell from how much is left from this lipstick how much I have used it. This is the shade Psycho. Psycho is like a pink toned red, but what is very interesting and very unique about this lipstick is that it is infused with like lilac-y blue glitter, and it just looks so gorgeous on the lips. The glitter is not really interfering in any way with the formula. It doesn't feel uncomfortable. It just makes the lipstick so much more interesting, and specifically with today's look I thought it would fit really beautifully because I have a little bit of purple sparkles on my eyes as well, and the purple vest. If you're interested in the eye look, by the way, you can go back and watch my video where I talked about the Divine Bronze collection. I'm going to also link that up in the cards for you, but I thought it is the perfect day to wear Psycho, and I haven't worn Psycho in such a long time, and it's such a shame. It had a top layer that was a little bit drier, but then I just like rubbed it on my hand, and now it feels perfect as ever. I will show you an up close of the lipstick so that maybe you can appreciate a little bit the beautiful sparkles that are going on. Over the past like year or two, I've had the blasphemous thought of decluttering this lipstick a couple of times without actually having put it on again to appreciate it again. And honestly, now that I've put it on, I can tell you this lipstick ain't going anywhere. I'm going to spritz a little bit of ethanol on it to clean it up now, but I still love it as much as I did like 5 or 6 years ago when I first bought it. So Psycho is staying. I love it. Let's call this my cheat day. You know how people that do dieting have a cheat day when they eat chips and chocolate? This is my cheat day. You know, I've been doing so good revisiting the older favorites that I figured if today I'm feeling like wearing Rain, I'm gonna wear Rain, and I am going to feature it in this video because I just really want to speak about my affection for it. I just really adore this shade. So this is Velvet Rain. This is one of the newest velvets that have been released by Lisa Eldridge in the past couple of months, and I originally didn't buy the lipstick at the release. I bought Sorcery and Duchess, and like there were a bunch of other colors, but I thought they all looked too pink and I couldn't really differentiate. Like when people were trying them on, they all looked really pink, so I was like, oh no, never mind. But then I borrowed this color from a friend because I'll tell you why. Actually, now I know. I saw Charlotte wear that color and I was like, wait, this doesn't look as pink as I thought. It actually looks like this incredibly interesting color, which is a pink, but it's not really a pink, and it has cool tones and warm tones, and it just looks like an absolute one-of-a-kind delight. Now, I will say this. Yesterday I saw my friend wearing this lipstick, and on her, she's slightly deeper skin toned, and on her, Rain looks a lot pinker than it does on me. So keep that in mind. It's not going to look the same on everybody. I think it really plays up on the undertones of your lips, and it also really depends on how you pair it with the rest of your clothing and makeup. For example, I feel like today this lipstick is pulling a lot more like peach warm than it is like pink cool, and I think that's because of the clothing that I'm wearing and the contrast that is being created here, which makes this lipstick appear more warm. But anyway, to wrap up the rambling, this was Rain from Lisa Eldridge, an absolute stunner of a lipstick. I highly recommend it, one of my recent favorites. Nothing more to say about it. Guess who got into a huge fight with Marmalade yesterday? She was just chilling. He was just peeking through the little like kitty door that he cannot enter through anymore because we have the chip-based cat door. But then she saw him, and my husband was at home, so he told me a story. Like she made a beeline for it. She like bolted out, and before he knew it, the two of them were in a ball. Fur was flying around. Traumatic. I don't know if you've ever seen cats fight getting into a ball, but it's really traumatic, and it's 10 times more traumatic if you see it with your own cat. I pretty much always wear a red lipstick when I have this sweater on because it makes me feel like Snow White. I know you've seen a lot of reds in this episode, I'm sorry, but I don't really know what to say for myself other than I adore red lipstick. Red lipstick is what nude is for a lot of other people, so you are going to see still a lot of reds coming. But today I'm wearing Elson 5, which is one of the Satin Allure lipsticks from Pat McGrath. I was kind of inspired by the recent release of some new shades from this line that she recently came out with. I haven't picked up any of the new shades. I'm a little bit tempted by specifically two shades that Charlotte Holdcroft talked about, Untamed Desire and Petalica, but I will do my best not to buy them because I don't think I need them. I have similar shades from Lisa Eldridge. Anyway, speaking of Lisa Eldridge, because I've gotten some questions about comparison between the Luxuriously Lucent formula and the Satin Allure formula from Pat McGrath, I think they are similar in the sense that they're both like this very comfortable, sort of like creamy with a bit of a shine to it, buildable, comes off a bit quicker type of formula. But I do think that the Luxuriously Lucent feel more like a buildable lip balm. They're a little bit thicker, whereas these have a somewhat thinner formula, and I feel like they have more color payoff from the get-go, so they're much more punchy already as you apply them. At least that has been my experience. I love the shade Elson 5 because, as you can see, Elson 5 is that beautiful, like sort of classic blue-based red, and it just looks stunning on the lips. It is incredibly comfortable to wear. Honestly, for a cream lipstick, like a very creamy lipstick, it stays on really well, and it lasts really well throughout the day, even after drinks and meals. So I personally find this formula really impressive. I'm assuming this formula is sort of like the substitute for the Luxe Trans formula, and the two are very different, by the way. The Luxe Trans was much like more substantial and thicker on the lips. This is much more lightweight, but it is a beautiful formula. So if the matte trans was not something you're interested in because you don't like matte formulas, I think the Satin Allure is a gorgeous formula. Now, there's something to be said about your taste when it comes to the packaging of these lipsticks. It feels a little bit cheapy. It is cute with a little bow here, but it feels so much more lightweight and plasticky in the hands compared to her like other lipsticks, the Luxe Trans and the Matte Trans. So there's also something to be said about the packaging not feeling as luxurious as her usual lipstick packaging does, but these are also significantly cheaper. So I'm going out for dinner later, and I went a little bit more dramatic on the eyeballs, so I thought I should do something a little bit more subtle on the lips. Also, like, I've been wearing red lipsticks all throughout this past week, so I figured it's time to switch it up. So today we have Urban Decay's Hideaway on the menu. Now, Hideaway is a color that I would have described to you as like my cool toned pinky nude. And I really love wearing this shade, and as you can also probably tell, I'm not wearing it alone. This lipstick is in a comfort matte formula, so by itself it has a relatively matte finish to it, but I do love pairing it, especially when I'm wearing more cool toned eye looks, with my Lust Gloss, Opulust Gloss, sorry, from Pat McGrath in the shade Lavendering. But I just wanted to clarify that that's from the gloss, not from the lipstick itself. Now, here we run into the same issue with like pink nude lipsticks, that I don't wear them that often. I have like preferences, and to be honest with you, 9 out of 10 times out of the pink nudes that I have in my collection, I would choose for Hideaway, because there is something more muted and desaturated in Hideaway, and it doesn't look too pink. And the reason I'm talking about other pinks in my collection is that there is another shade that I have from Urban Decay. This is the shade Backtalk, and Backtalk is more of your like classic, like cooler toned, like mauvier, purplier pink. So this is Backtalk, this is Hideaway. And every time I do a look where I feel like both would fit, 9 out of 10 times I will choose for Hideaway. So I swatched the two lipsticks on the back of my hand, I'll show you in a second. And then I thought, wait, I recently decluttered also another pinky nude. So that is the shade Still Crazy from Colourpop. We talked about that lipstick last time. So I swatched them here on the back of my hand just to show you the difference. So this is Hideaway, this is Backtalk, and this is Still Crazy. And I think it's very interesting to see that compared to these other two, Still Crazy has quite much more warmth to it. I think Hideaway clearly has somewhat deeper, more nude like vibes to it compared to Backtalk. Backtalk is certainly the most cool toned pink out of the three. And for that reason, I think I'm also going to let go of Backtalk, because as much as I love having Backtalk theoretically, It's one of those instances where I feel like my fantasy self would really like to use this lipstick more often. Excuse me. But in reality, I just don't really wear this lipstick, and you can tell from the Urban Decay logo that I haven't actually used it that much. And I've had this lipstick since before I bought Hideaway. We are down another pink nude lipstick, and I've kept my favorite. And what I think is also nice is that the other pink nude that I kept, the lipstick from NARS Audacious line, the shade Anita, is a much more lighter pink nude, whereas this one is deeper in tone. So I have the option of going deeper or lighter in tone without having too many pink nudes in my collection, because I just don't really use them all that often. I'm sorry you guys, I would have really liked to make the bed for your benefit to appear, you know, somewhat as if I have my life together. But Lovebug Mona here is sleeping, and I will not be the one to disturb her royal majesty. You know what's a sentence that you will never hear anyone utter in the makeup world, in the modern makeup world? I bought a Pat McGrath Flesh lipstick and I didn't like it. I've literally never met anyone who didn't like one of the Flesh colors from Pat McGrath. They are absolutely beautiful. This is Flesh 5, which is a relative latecomer in my collection. I've had Flesh 3 for years. I've been a huge fan of Flesh 3. It's one of my absolute favorite lipsticks of all time. I think easily top 3, but for whatever reason I was holding off of Flesh 5 because I always had the feeling that maybe it looks like lipsticks that I already have in my collection. And then finally last October I decided to purchase it because I think I saw one of my friends wearing it and I was like, I can no longer resist this color. And oh my god, do I even need to say anything? Look at this beautiful warm nude. It is somewhat of a deeper shade. I think that's something with the Flesh colors. They always have a little bit of like brown, red, and then mixed in either purple or orange. So they're not nudes in the classic sense as like nudes that have more of like a skin color to them, like they're very light. No, these have a little bit of a punch to them, but they just look so flattering. I have never seen a Flesh color not look flattering on a person. So if there's one like line of colors I would highly recommend from all of Pat's lipsticks, it doesn't matter whether they're the Luxe Trans. Actually, I don't know that she made a Luxe Trans in the Flesh color, now that I think of it. But like Matte Trans, Divineos, her lip glosses, her lip balms, whatever you pick up that has the name Flesh on it and whatever number it has, it will look stunning on you, I promise. Excuse husband's clothes, but she's so relaxed. I almost can't believe we've made it to like 20 lipsticks, and this is the first time you're seeing an H&M cream lipstick, because I've rambled so much about these lipsticks in the past. So this is also my favorite shade out of the whole like collection that I have personally. This is the shade Redwood, and Redwood is again one of the like really Mariam shades. It's a very like terracotta, rosy, peachy, like one of those like very complex colors. I think I discovered how flattering these undertones of lipstick look on me when I purchased Redwood. I have used the crap out of this lipstick. It is still one of my absolute favorite lipsticks. You will pry this out of my cold dead hands. With that said, I have been using my H&M cream lipsticks a little bit less often in the past, and I think that has a lot to do with the Luxuriously Lucent formula from Lisa Eldridge. I'm not saying the two formulas are similar at all, they're not. The only thing that unites them is sort of that they're that creamier, shinier, really comfortable type of lipstick. I have very different colors from H&M compared to my Lisa Eldridge Luxuriously Lucents, but because there are a couple of colors in the Lucent formula that I really love, I've been reaching over those a bit more than the H&M cream lipsticks. Just as a side note, I actually have a whole lip swatch video of all of my H&M cream lipsticks, which I'm going to link up here in the cards for you in case you are interested to see the rest, although spoiler alert, you are going to see them sometime in this series. I think these lipsticks are a phenomenal formula, one that's being really slapped on because obviously H&M is not really known for their makeup, and like a lot of their makeup is probably like very drugstore quality, and I don't know, there's something about these lipsticks that has always really impressed me. So if you have like a big makeup section in your H&M store, you can always go and swatch these and feel these for yourself, but they remain one of my favorite like cream lipstick formulas, and the shade Redwood in particular is impeccable.